Welcome back to the channel. This is Wes. Every time I try to stop reading Superman Son of Kal-El, there's an article from CBR or Newsarama or somebody or a tweet, and it just pulls me right back in. This week, I was notified via CBR that apparently Jay Nakamura is finally getting his superhero suit from Jon Kent, Superman himself. So the adventures of Jay Nakamura and his best pal Jon Kent continue. Basically, Superman has been a background player in his own series, which was supposed to elevate Jon Kent up to Superman. He's still fake Superman, and it kind of feels less of a Superman after, 12 issues? We're on 14. Over a year of this crap from Tom Taylor. Now we have Cian Tormey on as the art. The art looks perfectly fine, and I will tell you this. Let me say something good before we get into this big revelation. There's some action in this comic book. Finally, the stakes have been, I guess, set for over a year now, and they're going to fight about it. Feels like they probably could have got to this 6 months ago, but at least something happens in Superman. While he definitely is still kind of a background player, he's kind of a supporting character still to Jay Nakamura, does some heroic things. So I will give the slightest golf clap in history to Tom Taylor for actually doing something somewhat heroic with the hero of the story. Now, I'm gonna do the setup here. I'm not gonna just jump you right into the big thing, but you're not gonna want to go away. You're definitely gonna want to stick around until I get to the point where Jon Kent gives Jay Nakamura a superhero suit and he drops him into enemy territory. It is breathtaking how bad the dialogue from Tom Taylor is on this one. The guy just can't write ongoing comic books. He can do some pretty darn good miniseries, Deceased, Injustice. Even that Suicide Squad thing he did not too long ago was pretty good because it was a miniseries. Once he gets on an ongoing, he cannot pace the story and he doesn't pay a whole lot of stuff off. If you're a Nightwing fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's get into this comic book and get this bad boy out quick. We open this story up and Lois Lane is exposing Bendix and Gamora and all the corrupt things going on behind the scenes with the U.S. Senator who was transformed into a monster, but it wasn't his fault, but he was in on the deal. And she's exposing the truth to the entire world. Of course, this is going to be bad juju for Henry Bendix, the big bad villain who is working with Lex Luthor in this story, but you will not see him in this issue. Bendix says, screw it. We're turning on our death satellite. That thing powers back up, and then he puts a force field around his country and says, bring on the fireworks because we're ready to fight. And that is essentially the opening. And then we get to meet the Revolutionaries. If you do not know who the Revolutionaries are, I believe this is a team that is somewhat associated with the Suicide Squad. I think Tom Taylor introduced this team with Bruno Redondo, who works with him on Nightwing, in that Suicide Squad thing they did not too long ago. And these are the Revolutionaries. These characters are confirmed murderers, but that does not bother Jay Nakamura because this is his backup. He says it's not their fault that they go out there and kill people and stuff like that because they've been controlled by Bendix. What would you expect them to do? And we get to meet all the characters: Wink, the Airy, Deadly Six, Finn, Zebra Man, Thylacine, Chaos Kitten, and Jog. The best one, of course, is Osita. When you see that character, you think that character has the guns of Thor and the tits of Pam Anderson, because that is, in fact, I believe, a female character. At least that's what they're going for. And, of course, proving that he is not worthy of the Superman mantle, Jon Kent is going to team up with this group of murderers, the Revolutionaries, to aid Jay Nakamura and free Gamora, I guess. But the Revolutionaries are not happy with Jon Kent's plan of not killing anybody. Osita specifically is very pissed off. So we get Damian Wayne apparently shows up on the scene. We've got Wink, who apparently is the reader perspective character, who says, where the hell did Damian Wayne even come from? We're on a submarine, people. Of course, he is Damian Wayne. He is very stealthy and he was able to make it. But he says, here's the thing. If you're fighting alongside Superman, come on, call him Jon Kent. You know he's not Superman. Call him Superboy. Call him anything but Superman. You have to step up. You have to be better. It's just the way it is. And if you can't do this the right way, you'll probably just find yourself in a cell on the other side of the world faster than you can blink. And then Osita was like, oh, that was moving stuff, Damian Wayne. We will do our best. And that's all that he has. And then we get Superman grabbing Jay Nakamura. I think his superhero name is Gossamer, one of the dumbest superhero names I've ever heard, places him in his arms and decides he's going to fly him off because we have the big reveal, people. He's finally going to get his costume. They stop by the Fortress of Solitude on the way to Gamora to go free the peoples, and he says it's a suit from the future. They know your truth mask. They know Jay Nakamura. They don't know whoever this is. And there's something else I want you to have. And then he brings out a ring, and the look on Jay Nakamura's face, but it's not an engagement ring. Thankfully, it's actually just a flight ring. He decides to give him a flight ring from the Legion of Superheroes because Jay Nakamura is going to need it. He can go intangible, folks, but now he can fly. He's the ultimate weapon. And he's got that crooked smile. How could Jon Kent not fall in love with Jay Nakamura? That's the real question you have to ask yourselves, folks. I'm 45% surprised that wasn't a goddamn engagement ring. It should have been. The way Tom Taylor has been telling this coming-of-age gay romance story rather than doing superheroics, but they decided to put flight on the table, even though he has a flight ring. Fake Superman Jon Kent decides he's going to fly him in the air. And I must say, just looking at the costume and him being worried about people recognizing his face, I don't think Bret Hart-inspired sunglasses is going to be the ultimate disguise that perhaps Jon Kent had hoped for his better half. But they fly him into the air, and he's like, "You're going to have to drop me. It's a long way down. Stop worrying. This was your idea, and we practiced this part over and over, Jon Kent. Jay, right, you're Superman. You're practically programmed to catch people who are falling not so good with letting go. It's okay. I'll let go for you." And he goes intangible, and he flies essentially through the force field into the city. And this is the best part. I hope you made it to this. I know some people might have checked out. As Jay Nakamura enters the facility where Bendix is and everything that's going on, Jon Kent watches from above because there's a force field. Only the intangible Jay Nakamura, using that and his flight ring, could make it through. And he says, "And all I can do is watch." Help us, as he just completely owns the fucking situation. It's so odd to think of a superhero with the powers of Superman. You know, he's not Superman, he's Jon Kent, but he does have a lot of the powers of his father. To watch a character that isn't nearly as powerful as him and literally be awe-inspired and starstruck by his own boyfriend. It's just some of the weirdest stuff. This is not quite Gabby Rivera levels of bad writing, but it ain't that far off, people. If you don't believe me, go read America Chavez. This is some of the stuff people around America Chavez would have said, except they would have had a lot more words around it. But this would have been the basic premise of people ogling over America Chavez and how amazing that she is. We do get to see Jon Kent raise up a submarine and the revolutionaries get into action. And then Dreamer, who's still with the team, all of a sudden is a daydreamer. She's a daydream believer. And she lets Superman know, "You need to go to Jay Nakamura. Something bad is happening." He arrives on the scene. Jay is devastated behind his new superhero costume that no one would ever guess was Jay Nakamura behind it, even though he's gone intangible, and apparently he was flying in the air with Superman. He says, "No." John arrives on the scene. "Jay!" And he says, "What is it?" "Prisoner one." And you won't believe it. God damn it. Prisoner one is Jay Nakamura's mom. Henry Bendix, that son of a bitch, has turned her evil. He's going to have to fight his own mother. I don't think that Jay can do it, even though he's supposed to be a hero now. I think John is going to have to step in and probably kill Jay's mom. That is going to make it very uncomfortable at Thanksgiving dinner when Jay and John are trying to have a little turkey with the Kent family, and they go, "Oh, yeah, John, you killed Jay's mom, huh? Well, she turned evil. It wasn't her fault. She died a hero. That's what it is." As far as Superman Son of Kal-El issues, I guess number 14 isn't the worst in the history of the world. At least there's some action, and they're actually moving along the plot, and hey, maybe there's going to be some comeuppance for a bad guy here or there. But it is mostly about Jay Nakamura and his ascension up to being a superhero, and unfortunately, Jon Kent is just left sitting on the sidelines going, "I'm going to watch you completely own this thing." It's like, oh my goodness. Tom Taylor should just never be allowed to write anything ongoing. Ever again. Although there's one thing I guess we can agree on. Tom Taylor said that I was right. I was talking about this Jon Kent sexuality reveal for a very long time, saying this is just a publicity stunt. And when he was talking about the previous issue in an interview, Superman Son of Kal number 13, with the introduction of Dreamer, the first, well, not the first, but the trans hero from the CW universe that's dead now, that's now in comic books. Shockingly, that one didn't move the needle and sell any more comic books. But he essentially confirmed everything that I said was right. And shockingly, Nicole Maines, the actress who plays Dreamer, came off as the more professional writer. If you haven't seen this, I was right, and Tom Taylor fucking confirmed it.